Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Yo, yo, yo. Ow, fuck. Hopefully this mic is cool. Check, check, check. Diz, what up, bro? Hey, let me know if you could hear me. I don't know if this mic's running out of battery. 805 Raider, what's happening? Diz checking in. What's up? What's up? Hear you. Hell yeah, appreciate that. Happy holidays. Yes, sir. Man, getting ready for it. We 2 days out. Melody Sturgis, what's happening? Appreciate y'all for jumping on, man. Especially holidays and all, but I've been traveling in and out. So I was like, man, I gotta try to get on live. No TikTok today, just only YouTube. My phone ain't charged up. Let me see. City Boy was going down. I'm in next year, bro. Pissed I can't come down. Wait, let me see. I'm in next year, bro. Pissed I can't come. Oh, you're not coming down for impressions, Diz? I think that's what you're talking. I think I'm supposed to be back out in New York next year. I'm not exactly sure when, but maybe I'll come out your way. The LA trip is screwed. Oh man. All good, man. Let's see. Pretty sure a lot of people been getting that holiday orders out, pressing stuff up, creating stuff. One of the crafting homegirls, she been killing it. Shout out to Crafting by Myra. Um, Starbucks released those little bears, like the little cup bears or bears that look like cups, and she 3D printed a little cup holder for the bear to fit inside of your cup holder in a car, and she's been killing it ever since she posted those things, man. And I've been following all her posts and stuff, watching what she's been doing, but she's been killing it. So I'm pretty sure a lot of other people been out there doing the same exact thing, getting ready for the holidays, trying to get these orders out, man. Had a bunch of customs. Yeah, man, I'm seeing everybody just moving, and it's dope. I've been seeing a lot of people with the laser engravers too. Laser engravers been killing it this season. Custom stuff, they've been going off. For me, it's just everything at the store. Store's been doing good. My crew neck's been selling out like crazy. Let me see. Crew necks did good. Hoodies did good. Sold out of a bunch of stuff. I released this green crew neck. Um, that one sold out too, which was crazy, man. The green crew neck I thought was gonna be a kind of hit or miss. I ended up dropping that one because it matches with some green New Balance that I had, so I wanted to do that. And took a took a gamble and was like, let me just see if these are gonna work out. And yeah, man, they killed. Um, the tan crew necks did good, or the off white, or not even cream color, sand color. I forget the name of the actual color, but those did good too. So crew necks were good for me this year. I'll probably keep doing them throughout January. Um, I'm bringing a bunch of like the Disneyland stuff back. I'm gonna start selling stuff to Disneyland goers again. So I've been testing out a bunch of different crew necks and things I see people wear. A lot of girls at Disneyland wearing crew necks. Um, so I've been going through looking for dope colors, good soft crew necks, so I could start launching Disney stuff again. Well, not Disney stuff, but stuff for Disneyland goers outside of the churro stuff. I got a bunch of other things I'm going to be dropping for them in January. So I just been doing a bunch of research. So when Impressions comes around in January, mainly going to be looking for that. AS Color, you already know, is dope. I use them all the time. But I'm trying to look for like some of these other washes that people like, and I'm also looking into some of these other, like when I buy hoodies, I only buy heavyweight, and I only buy heavyweight because that's what I like to wear. um Mainly like the dudes out here in LA love heavyweight hoodies this time of year. Rarely do they wear the light ones, and rarely do they wear like even mid-weight. It's usually just heavyweight hoodies. Like this is AS Color Classic, no, AS Color Relax hoodie that I'm wearing right now. I like the fit, I like the feel, I like the inside, like the the fuzzy part is soft. It feels good. It washes well. Um, but it's heavyweight still. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to find some lightweight stuff because I notice a lot of people that go to Disneyland, that's what they're into. They're wearing the midweight stuff, lightweight stuff. So I got to do some research at Impressions. That's what I'm planning on going there, and then also looking for another hat vendor. I'm making my own custom hats, like unlabeled that I could wear, but I need a hat vendor for when I stitch hats for some of my clients. I need Otto's prices are getting kind of crazy for me, so I think I'm gonna switch over. Pitbull might be one of them. Um, AS Color is cool, like their stock cap, the 6 panel one is dope, but they don't offer like that many colors. Like there's no royal blue. There's a lot of colors that my clients want that they don't have, so I'm gonna have to look for another hat vendor. Let me see. Let's see. I'm thinking you're saying Shaka wear basic shirts or close to wait SSW basic shirts. I think you're talking about Shaka wear. If you're not talking about Shaka wear, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what an SS basic shirt is. But when it comes to like Pro Club Comfort, Shaka wear Active is comparable to Pro Club Comfort. MM Customs was going down, man. Traffic is crazy out here. Traffic is crazy everywhere, man. Um, I was out in Vegas these past couple of days. Coming back to LA is crazy. I'm gonna be going back out, so I'm traveling a lot right now. It's like one of my days to just kind of be chill. But the amount of just people out is crazy. And then there's like a big storm coming to LA right now. It's on the way, should be happening anytime now. That's gonna make things a lot crazier too out in the streets, man. Check out Pitbull, but check the sizing. Yeah, you know what I've been noticing by going through because I'm getting my own hats made right now. Sizing is a crazy thing. Like, yeah, it's easy to like try to compare like a new era hat, like a 5950 or something like that to get your sizing right. But it comes down to fit. It comes down to a lot of things, man. And going back and forth with these samples, trying to get like dial in exactly what I'm looking for is a pretty crazy task. And I notice a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll see a couple samples and they'll start to get like antsy, and then they'll just be like, yeah, that's cool, let's just run with them because they want to get to selling stuff. I've been going through this process for months now, months on top of months, trying to finalize the right hat for myself. And I'm noticing like the smallest things create bigger issues in the shape of the hat and the way the hat wears. So I'm finding all this out now. I've deconstructed so many different hats to try to figure out how things are in there around the sweatband. All of that stuff is crazy, man. And then especially going through, a manufacturer that's used to just doing their own stuff and not necessarily creating something from scratch is what we're basically going off of. I mean, they have the materials in place and everything and textiles, but it's like I want a certain fit, and that's what we're going through. Um, so it's dope just to have for myself to sell, like my own hats embroidered and stuff, and have my own hats that I can embroider at my shop. But when I'm doing stuff for clients, I just want to be able to like order some hats, get them in on time at a fair price. Like Otto's price hike kind of like messed up a lot of things for myself because we're using Otto hats a lot, and then trying to get the orders processed out, and then like trying to like keep up with their pricing and adapt to it cuts into the profit margin a little bit, and it also hurts the customer a little bit. But so I'm trying to find other vendors and other resources. So Impressions Expo is where I'm going to do a ton of uh research and try to find some other stuff. Let me see. Movie Head said, "Man, how do you stay organized? So many moving parts, marketing, website designs. How do you keep track of everything?" Sounds dumb, but a lot of it's up top in my brain. But then I use the Notes app in my phone to track a lot of stuff also. Um, but like I said, it's all about Time management. That's like going to be your biggest thing when it comes to doing this, is figuring out how to turn it on and off throughout the day. I schedule myself 2 hours out of the day every single day to do something business related, whether it's marketing, whether it's updating the website, whether it's fulfilling orders, whether it's working on designs, whether it's customer service and going back and forth with clients and customers. 2 hours out of the day. Sometimes I go over that, but I do a minimum of 2 hours every single day. Um, and that helps me stay on top of things, because some days I'll work on some designs, next day I'll work on some marketing stuff, next day I'm like editing some like product videos that I did. Um, Next day I'm filming content for product placement videos. All of that stuff is part of the business. So as long as you like keep yourself on a schedule, I guess, you'll be good. You'll start to figure it out. But a lot of it is time management. A lot of times, some people go hard. They'll put in 8, 10 hours out of the day, and then they'll be dormant for like 2 weeks because they burn themselves out. So to eliminate that burnout, what I do, I said, 2 hours works for me. It gets the job done, and then I could still stay fresh. My ideas still stay fresh. Things still stay somewhat crispy up top in my brain. So when I get a chance to sit down and work on them, I just hit the ground running. It's not an hour sitting in front of my computer waiting for something to happen. I already know what I want to work on. So then I'll start making it happen. That's how I organize my day, I guess. It doesn't work like that for everybody. There's some people that work better off of like following a calendar schedule. There's some people that are better at following, some kind of app that'll like schedule out your day, or organize your day for you. For me, that's how it is. Sometimes I do an hour at night. I do an hour in the morning. Sometimes I do 2 hours at night, or 2 hours in the morning before I go to work. It all depends. Let me see. Diz said he likes KB Ethos. I don't know if I know what KB Ethos is. I'll check them out though. My bad. Skywear Basics 920A. I've never seen a Skywear Basics shirt, so I'm not 100% sure if it's like the Pro Club Comfort shirt. The only one that I've found that's comparable to Pro Club Comfort is Shockwear, the Shockwear Active shirt. They both have removable tags. Most Shockwear shirts are sewn in woven labels, but the Active shirts have a paper perforated tag or rip away, tear away tag. Same thing like the Pro Club Comfort, Pro Club Heavyweight, sewn in woven tag, Pro Club Comfort, paper, tearaway tag. Both similar in fit and feel. The big difference is the collar on the Comfort is slightly snugger than the collar on the Active shirt from Shockwear, but not a big difference. Let me see. Pitbull got a lot of colorways, but small compared to yeah, way small. Like I've been to Otto's warehouse out in Ontario a few times. It's huge, and they're moving units. There's so many big companies that use Otto blanks, and I think that's why for them, if they're moving by the pallet load every day, it's kind of hard to keep up. So increasing prices, obviously increasing the workforce and stuff like that to keep up with the demand is crazy. Like I'm pretty sure you guys seen all the issues going on with Shockaware, T Style, all those guys. They run all these sales around Thanksgiving, and then they can't fulfill any of the orders. And if you just looked at the comment section on T Style's page, it it's people just mad that they placed orders back in October that they haven't seen yet. And these people are placing will call pickup orders, and they can't, they're just canceling the orders. If somebody complains, they're like, all right, we're going to cancel your order. It's to that point where they're not able to fulfill, and maybe it's they oversold what they thought they had, or it's just workforce. They don't have enough people to keep up with the demand. And T Style came out swinging these last 2 years, I think it was. Once the news about they were the family that started All Style came up, everybody went to T Style, and then I have a good feeling like at Impressions, there's going to be a lot of angry people going to that T Style booth, like, "Yo, what's up with my order? Like, I placed that, early November, and it's damn the end of December, and I still ain't seen nothing." My homies that use T Style are telling me the same exact thing, and they're showing me the back and forth with customer service, and customer service ain't really servicing the customers. And I'm like, man, that sucks. Like, especially for the people that put those orders in not around their sale, but just regular orders. And they were trying to get some stuff done for Black Friday, and they did it early November, and they didn't see their orders at all, and they didn't have no communication with them. Or if they were trying to fulfill some like Christmas orders or do some Christmas drops, and they had no blanks because T Style dropped the ball. That's, man, that's hard to run your business that way. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't know if it's just the they oversold what they thought they had, or it's a workforce thing and they didn't have enough people to help fulfill the orders in a timely manner. You know what I mean? And it creates a bunch of angry other business owners that are like, yo, what the hell? And I seen the same thing with Shockware. Shockware had to put out a bunch of different videos of people saying, like, yo, we're getting to your orders, we're backed up, we're weeks behind, and blah, blah, blah. But for the small business owner that's trying to do like a Christmas drop or something like that, and they were dependent on those blanks and they built it into their production time, and it's months later and they still haven't seen their order, it's hard to run your business that way, man. Create a lot of angry, angry people, man. Let me see. What do you think about Yupong hats? I used to use Yupong a lot. They're kind of boxy for my taste. They have that real true, like classic snapback fit and feel. Very popular hat. Ton of people use them. Good sturdy hat. Let me see. When I was using them, probably 12, no longer than that. Probably close to 15 years ago, maybe. I'm trying to think of when I remember doing those, but I was buying them in downtown LA at first. This is back when FlexFit was selling them. Maybe FlexFit still makes them and sells them. But FlexFit's warehouse used to be next to um, Heat Press Nation's warehouse when they were in Fullerton. And you'll be able to place an order with FlexFit, go pick them up. But I was buying them in downtown LA at first, and I was buying them at like $4 at the time, and that was expensive back then because you got to figure decky hats were 350 for the longest time. Auto hats were $3, 275 to $3 for the same acrylic wool 6-panel structured snapbacks. And the branding on the Yupongs were pretty crazy. Like they had the big classic Yupong on the inside, the black and yellow tag. They had the stickers on the top. I think the taping on the inside might have been, I can't remember. Decky didn't have any branding at the time, like small little tiny, like a Levi's tag, like the real small red Levi's tag. They had something like that on the inside of the hats. So yeah, $4 was pretty expensive with a hat that had a lot of branding. But now that hat's so popular, like so many people use it, it's almost better to have that branding in the hat so people know, like, oh, I know the fit and feel of this hat. But that's 15 years later, right? Because back then, 15 years ago, people were like, "Man, what the hell's a Yupong? Or what's up with this hat that you're using?" The fit's cool. It doesn't fit the big heads that well, and that's what kind of messed me up. But yeah, the hats are cool, man. They're wildly popular, man. Nothing wrong with them. I don't know what the price is now. I haven't used them in a long time, but it's hard to say what that price range is on those hats. But back then I was getting them for like $4, and that was considered kind of pricey. And that was from downtown LA from the fashion district. And I was only getting maybe 6 to 8 dozen here and there at $4 a pop. And then I was taking them to the embroidery. Like my homie that was doing my embroidery years ago, he used to just work out of his garage. He used to have a shop, shut the shop down, just operated out of his garage, and he kept his, I think he had a 6 or 8 head Tajima embroidery machine. And yeah, I used to just drop my hats off to him and he'd bang them out for me. Let me see. Sammy, what's happening? I spoke with Otto about getting my own based on their base model. They gave me some decent numbers, so I think in the new year I'm going for it. Yeah, I talked to them about that too. Like getting custom hats done through them, with none of their branding and your own branding and stuff like that. I think it's dope, man. The numbers are cool. My big issue with going that route was my communication was a little lost when I said I didn't want to do embroidery through them. Like I was going to do the embroidery myself. And then that's where things started to take a little turn. But the pricing is cool. I think if you wanted to get like some custom hats made through them, I've been doing my business full time for the past few months, and I decided I'm getting me a job again. Love selling clothes, but damn, it's hard being only able to eat what you can sell. I'm over it, dude. That's it's hard work, man. It's very, very much hard work because you got to remember the you have to be able to ride the waves, right? And you can't catch every wave. That it's in this business, you're not going to catch every single wave, but you have to be able to ride them and ride them well. When you're just selling your products and that's the only thing that you're living off of, everything is riding on you. So it's like there's at that point there's no days off because if you're eating off of what you're selling, you need to be out there getting it. You know what I mean? And that's tough, man. It's tough. And I tell this to a lot of people, and the people that do take this advice, they do well for themselves. You know what I mean? But it's the whole like leaving your job to pursue your dreams, right? And people always think I'm crazy when I say like if you use your job as the backup plan and your job pays for the bills and all that stuff, and then you're running your business at the same time of working your job, you're not just trying to make money with your business of selling t-shirts. What you're trying to do is you're trying to build clientele, you're trying to build brand loyalty, you're trying to build the business, not just sell the clothes, but you're trying to build the business because you need the people that you're serving to come back and shop with you years after that. You know what I mean? You need them to continue to shop with you, spend their money with you, whether it's you printing for other people or that's you selling t-shirts. But you have to maintain those relationships like crazy. It means everything at that point. So you have the safety net of your day job, right? Selling shirts, you're building up your clientele, your customer service is on point. If you can double your salary on a steady basis, let's say 8 months to a year of doubling your income of what you make at your day job with your business, like your side business, your clothing brand or your print shop, whatever it is, then you know the bills could get paid, right? But you got to give yourself, like I said, 8 months to a year of doing that steady to make sure that you're doubling the money and making sure that you have that income. So then that way, when you leave your job, you know you're going to be good. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the money that you're doubling, you should be stacking away because at that point, savings is very much important to have. Like actually having a real nest egg savings account just in case shit happens is very, very, very important at that point because you don't have that steady paycheck coming in. You know what I mean? But there's nothing wrong with going back and getting a job and still doing what you do, selling t-shirts and getting it going that way. There's nothing wrong with that. You can still work a 9 to 5 and still slang clothes on the side, man. I work a 9 to 5. I slang clothes on the side. I have a retail store. Like all of this stuff that I do is because I like doing it. You know what I mean? And it could be hard if you didn't have the safety net of full-time job. And a lot of us have full-time jobs still, and we're trying to make these businesses work and we're trying to get them started. And the most important, like, yeah, making money is important, but if you're doing this with the end goal of eventually quitting your job and you running your business being your full-time gig, building those relationships and building the business up, not just the money part, but just actually building the infrastructure of the business, so important to do while you're still working your full-time job. I can't stress that enough. And I'm not even trying to be like, oh, this is the secret sauce to how you do it. It's just being realistic with yourself. You know what I mean? When you don't have the safety net of your full-time job, how is the bills going to get paid? That way you have years of experience and you have years of building with those clients and those customers. So that way when you eventually leave, you already have that built-in brand loyalty, business loyalty with these customers, and then you just continue the plan from there and keep growing and keep growing. But it's hard, man. It no, but I've never said this shit is easy. Making money, very easy. Sustaining the business, not easy, man. Like you got to really put in the work, and you cannot shortcut the hard work. There's no like cheat code to the hard work. It's like you have to put the shit in. And it's like that with any business, man. If you're a barber, you're still gonna have to go out and try to get these clients. People getting a haircut once a week. Yeah, but you're gonna have to fill up all these days, you know what I mean? And all this time in a shop, or you need people in your chair. So you can't, there's never any downtime. You know what I mean? You just have to put the work in. Like I said, there's no shortcuts to the hard work. You just have to be able to put it in. And a lot of people get burnt out fast because you go all in really, really hard, really, really fast. You're just like, yo, I'm gonna start getting after it. And then you find out 3 months in, 4 months in, you're like, yo, this is, I need to take a break. That's why I slow and steady wins the race for myself. 2 hours out the day. I'm never gonna burn myself out at 2 hours. I'm just gonna just do what I physically can. 2 hours is gonna allow me to keep doing it and leave me a little bit hungry for the next day to keep doing it. I'm going to operate that way. I'm never going to burn myself out because I would hate to come to a point where I feel like the thing that I love doing, selling t-shirts, creating t-shirts, selling t-shirts, becomes a job where I'm like, yo, I have to do this. No, I don't want to ever have to feel like I have to do this. Like I'm doing this shit just because the shit is fun. Like I want to try to keep it as fun as long as possible. And I've been selling t-shirts since the 90s, man. Like I was just talking to my brother. Like I said, we was traveling. I was with my brother, and he was talking about when I used to sell T-shirts. This is a long time ago on Hollywood Boulevard. I would have a bullhorn, like a megaphone. I used to be on Hollywood Boulevard, and I would pull up. This is fucking 2007 because I had a 2007 Impala at the time. I used to sell shirts out of my trunk, and I would pull up on Hollywood Boulevard, and I would have a megaphone, and I'd be yelling at people to try to get them to stop and look at my t-shirts. And my competition at the time on Hollywood Boulevard was dudes selling their mixtapes and dudes rapping and stuff like that. So those guys are chirping on all the people and they're trying to sell stuff. And I was just thinking, I need to be where there's a lot of foot traffic. Not knowing I'm selling to tourists, I'm not selling to locals. I'm on Hollywood Boulevard. It's just tourists. That's all it is. That's where the stars are on the ground and all that with the celebrity names. But I used to do this religiously every day, and I would get off of work, drive down to Hollywood Boulevard, and I'd be out there and just trying to sell T-shirts. And my brother's like, "Man, that shit was a grind, and you wasn't even making that much money. You was spending more in gas, getting out to Hollywood, looking for parking, paying for park. I ended up finding free spots to park, but yeah, it was a grind, and I didn't even understand what I was doing because I wasn't like locked into who I wanted to sell to. I was just thinking I need to be where the foot traffic is. If I had to do that every single day of my life, I would hate selling t-shirts because one, I wasn't making a ton of money. Two, I didn't like lock in on the business. I wasn't fully aware of who I wanted to sell to. I was just thinking like everybody else does. I want to sell to everybody. My t-shirts didn't appeal to everybody, but that's what I was doing. I was just figured I need to go where there's the most people all day long, day and night. And nighttime, Hollywood Boulevard goes off. Tourists everywhere, people walking the streets everywhere. So it's easy to pull up with a megaphone and be like, yo, I got t-shirts over here. And I'll sell them for $15. And I would sell some here and there, but I wasn't making a gang of money. It was just I had to go through those little obstacles of not making any money to understand, all right, there has to be another way to do this. And the other way of doing this was focusing in on my customers, like really understanding who I'm designing for, who I need to sell to, and then I need to go to where those people are at. And one of the reasons why I did that and went to Hollywood Boulevard was I just came off of like a really high of selling a bunch of t-shirts to sneakerheads and stuff. So I thought I had the whole game figured out, and I was just making moves and doing my thing. But I was, man, it not every hit's gonna be a home run. You know what I mean? In my head, I thought that's what it was, but it really wasn't. I was struggling. I don't even know why I started talking about that, but And try to read some of these comments here. Um, Graphics Warehouse, what's happening? Maybe it's an East Coast thing. I like a low profile garment dyed hat. The hat company is called Adams Caps. I personally love their hats. I've never heard of Adams Caps. Are you using AI for anything? I don't use AI for anything, man. I haven't figured AI out yet. I'm pretty sure it's beneficial for business owners. I'm pretty sure it's beneficial for design and mock-ups and everything else I see people use AI for, making funny videos. I just haven't had the time to sit down and actually learn it. So I'm not against it. I just haven't adapted to using it or adopted using it in my own workflow. Like the way I do things is I draw it out, I take a picture of that drawing, I put it into Photoshop or Illustrator, I redraw it in Photoshop and Illustrator, like clean it up, add the colors, make sure everything looks symmetrical, and send that off to get transfers done. And using AI probably will help, probably go faster if I just hand drawing, take a picture, send it to AI, and let it do its thing. I just haven't got that far yet. So the way I do things is still old school because that's what works for myself. Um, and I just want to keep doing what works for me. I'm not against it. I just haven't got around to it. Did you have a good Black Friday and week after? Mine wasn't so good, but I'm new, so rework and rebuilding for this coming year. I don't really do too much Black Friday sales, man. I opened my retail store the day after Thanksgiving. No, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. People came through, shopped, hung out. Then I opened up again December, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. I had people come out. I opened up the store, and people did some shopping, but I don't do any sales or anything like that. Um, I don't think my customers are checking for me to do a Black Friday sale on anything. A lot of my shit is already cheap as is. But at the same exact time, it's more about availability. That's kind of how I base everything that I do off of. So yeah, I would say Black Friday was cool. I did some shopping. Like man, I spent some money with Undefeated. For my kid, I spent some money on like Nike store. I was buying shoes for my kid, and also bought some shoes for myself. New Balance had a sale. Like I was buying as a consumer, but it wasn't I wasn't my store and stuff like that really wasn't part of the sales and Cyber Mondays and all that stuff, man. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just I didn't do it. What about camel hats? I don't know anything about those. G6 Customs, what's happening? What was your hoodie brand again? Looking it up, looking at prices. AS Color Relax. They have like the faded ones and then they have like regular colors, but that's what I'm wearing right now. It's the one with no strings. It's made by AS Color and it's the Relax hoodie. Shit's expensive, but uh that's the one I'm wearing. I like wearing it. This is like my LA Rider one. I use this one to ride bikes and stuff, so it's pretty heavyweight. We're in downtown LA at nighttime. It's cold. I try to keep warm. Diz said this full time shit is not easy. Yeah, man. And you know better than most, man. You've been at it for years. Hella pricey. Yeah, AS Color is very pricey, man. Is it cheaper to get into impressions day of? Nah, man. Register right now. Go to let me help you out, man. I want to say Supercolor had a discount code, and I believe the discount code is like EHX200. It's either EHX200 or EXH200. That was Supercolor had a free registration code like a week or two ago, back on the 16th. So if it still works, it's probably free to register if you use that code. Or if you looked at any of your favorite like blank t-shirt vendors or transfer companies that you like, a lot of them have free registration codes posted on their Instagram pages. That's what I was saying during the interview. I do a variety of things so I don't burn out or get bored. Keeps my creative spark burning. Yeah, man. That's all it is, man. Just trying to stay flexible and fresh all the time. If you want your own hats, go to ASD Show in Las Vegas. You can directly buy custom to your spec hats. Yes, through China, but a couple of years ago, we were buying those veteran hats with embroidery 360. Oh, 360 for 335 finish. Yeah, so like the way that I do things is I have a manufacturer here in LA. Back during the pandemic in 2020, um they were manufacturing masks. That's how I ended up finding them. That guy's been my manufacturing guru since then, 5 years, 6 years. Um he kind of plugged me up with this company to do my hats. And like I said, it's I'm going based off of just um at this point it's not even through a tech pack. It's just by feel. It's like them sending me a sample, me trying it on, making sure I could embroider it on my machine, making sure the structure isn't too rigid for my machine. But also getting the fit down and making sure there's enough snaps for the big heads and making sure that the bill is not, you know, too square and making sure it's a little bit more round. Now it's just all based on feel. So the manufacturer I got and the the referral came from a very reliable person who's been helping me with like a lot of cut and sew and just manufacturing just over the years, building up the relationship with them. We did bags, we did man, we did a bunch of stuff like custom anorak jackets. What else have we done together? Tons of different bags. Um, but yeah, like it's the process for that kind of stuff, getting stuff manufactured overseas, and these ones aren't coming from China. There's nothing wrong with China, but um, going through overseas manufacturers is always language barrier. If you don't have somebody stateside to help you out, time of day that you have to talk to them, because sometimes you have to take Skype calls in the middle of the night because it's their daytime over there, like 14 hours or 16 hours ahead of us. Um, so there's a lot of different variables that go into it. And then when it comes to textiles and stuff like that, it is also a different thing. But I appreciate that for the trade show, ASD trade show. I think that's what you're talking about. Let me see. In 1987, 88, I used to sell band tees and merch on Sunset Boulevard. Hell yeah. That's dope as hell, man. Actually, it's funny how those band shirts, like the tour shirts, came back around and kids are like hyped up on them and stuff like that. And then the kids are hyped up on the bootleg ones too. Like, I think that's fucking cool, man. Madeira has a code. Look for their website. There you go. Long Beach is only 4 weeks away. Looking forward to the meet and greet. Hell yeah. The If you guys are going to the Impressions Expo in Long Beach, we're gonna have like a little informal meet and greet on Friday with the homie G6 Customs. Just try to get a bunch of people together and hang out and chop it up and just meet different people throughout the industry. We did it this past January, and it was pretty successful. There's a lot of people that showed up. We had the owners from Tajima came through and chopped it up with a lot of people, and other content creators were there. So it was a good experience. We're gonna try to do it again this year. So if you're at the Long Beach show, um, what I think it's like the third week of January, something like that. Impressions. Sign up, get you a discount code. Like I said, Super Colors discount code was like EHX200 or EXH200. Sign up. You know what I mean? Go. I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do some research out there. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Do you consider your items merch or a clothing brand? The stuff I sell in my retail store is all merch. We do have one clothing brand in there, Local Roots. That's not mine. That's one of my homies' clothing brands. Right now, I don't. the stuff I sell in my store is not a clothing brand whatsoever. Like I put my little Big Brando neck label and stuff, but that's it. It's just like things that I'm into. You know what I mean? Like shirts that I'm into that I want to wear is what I make and then I sell. Um, Starting this year, 2026. I don't know if you I don't know how long you've been watching. I know you've been watching for a little while, but like when I did the series for like leftovers, and made content around it of starting the leftovers brand, selling the stuff, I'm gonna do the same exact thing in 2026. I feel like it's been like 10 years or something like that since I did that. So I'm gonna do it again and show the people how to start a clothing brand, go through the full steps and motions all over again, create the content for it, show how I'm designing everything, the concepts behind everything, how I'm marketing everything, to packaging, to all that stuff will be laid out. So I'm going to start doing that. I wanted to do it this year, but there were so many different things. I got really focused on the store, like my retail store, that I didn't get around to doing it. But I want to show people how to do it online, because it's unfair if I show like, hey, this is how I'm putting my products into my own retail store. Not everybody has access to a retail store, so I'm not trying to do that. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to do is show people how to start a clothing brand, uh, and sell things online and market online, and show you how to do it for free, where you don't have to pay for advertising and generate sales, and show how like conversions actually work. That's the part of this business and the YouTube space that not a lot of people show, because a lot of people don't have that part figured out. There's like learning as they go also. So there's a lot of misguidance on YouTube or on social media in general when it comes to like actually selling products and stuff like that. There's a handful of content creators that'll show you how they sell things, which is dope, and that's what I do. Is I can show you how I sell things, and if it works for you, cool. If it doesn't work for you, it's not the end of the world, because there's not just one way to do things in this business. But the idea is to create the content to show people how it's done or how I do it. So then that way they have somewhat of a blueprint to go based off of, and then they could fine tune it on their own from there on out. Like you don't have to use the same equipment I use or the same blanks I use or the same transfers I use. You just need to see the steps on what I'm doing, and then you make it work for yourself, if that makes any sense. Downtown LA is cold, 20 degrees in Connecticut right now. At least it's not negative. Damn. Right now in LA, it's a whopping 60 degrees and cloudy. I got a hoodie on inside. It's about to start raining. That's cold, you know what I mean? But I would imagine in on the East Coast, you guys got real cold. Let me see. My hurdle is getting traffic to my Etsy Shopify store. Yeah, that's a lot of people's hurdle. You know what I mean? It's if you don't use your social media properly to send people there, it's going to be hard for people to find you. So you really have to like really lay into your social media presence to send people to your Shopify, to your Etsy store, all that good stuff. That's something that I'm going to really show in this series coming up this year, where I'm just going to be building the brand from the ground up and showing you exactly how the shit works. Like people always ask, when should I start posting on social media from a clothing store? And I will say, like, start as soon as possible. Even if you don't have products, it's all about building the community, building up the presence on social media. So that way, when you do drop something and you do release a t-shirt or a hat or a collection or whatever it is, you'll already have people that you've been engaging with for the last few months that aren't anticipating you dropping anything, but when you do, you already have built-in supporters, and that's how it works, man. Um, Shayna Kraus, what's happening? I was thinking about your name the other day. I remember you. I think you're the one that used to make the little dolls or pillows of veterans or something like that. If I'm getting you mixed up with somebody else, I want to say that's what you used to do when you used to jump on the lives. I want to say you were making like little pillows or little like life-size people, or not life-size people, but like miniature people stuffed into dolls or something like that, pillows maybe. But what's happening? Let me see. I'm confused with what I truly am. I did a shirt with my logo, and then I did a political shirt with Donald Trump and the Statue of Liberty, drunk. Then I did a shirt with an AK-47 and a peace symbol. um, don't get too hung up on that, man. To me, it's just if you're making stuff because it's fun and you're making stuff that you're into and you think you have an audience for it, don't even get like caught up in the is this merch or is this a clothing brand or am I streetwear or am I high fashion or any. Don't even put no labels or don't even put yourself in a box. Just get into the motion of selling things and then let the brand build itself from there. That's the easiest way that I can explain it is as long as you don't like enclose yourself and be like, all right, now I'm only doing merch or whatever. I'm a clothing brand. Once you start putting those kind of shackles on yourself, you're gonna feel like you can't create outside of that. So don't do that. Don't put yourself in a box. Create whatever you want to create and just keep putting it out to sell. And that way you'll start to find your audience. And that way you'll start to find the process on what you need to be doing. It's just keep creating and keep putting it out because all of these reps, it's like going to the gym, right? It's like you don't know if you're trying to be a bodybuilder or if you're trying to be, a physique champ or you don't know what you're trying to do. But if you're just going there to do the reps and put the motion in, things start to fall into place and be like, yo, you know what? I really like powerlifting. I didn't even know I wanted to be a power lifter, but now I know because I've been coming to the gym and this is what feels good to me. It's the same exact strategy with your business is don't go in there and just be like, I'm going to be a power lifter. And then you're doing all this stuff and then figure out, oh man, I'd be a dope bodybuilder, but I can't do that because I'm a power lifter. No, don't even do all that. Don't put yourself in that box and just go straight into it with like, I'm just going to go in here, get these reps in, and then see what happens and see what feels comfortable to me and what makes sense to myself. This trial and error stage in people's businesses, there's nothing wrong with it. So many businesses do this. You only see the back, like you only see the aftermath of after they figured everything out of what they're doing. But before they were what you see today, they were doing the same thing. They were testing shit out, figuring it out for themselves, seeing where things are going. I highly encourage a lot of people to read Bobby Hundreds has a book, and I want to say the book's called like it's just a t-shirt or I sell t-shirts or something t-shirt related. I can't remember. Get the audio book if you wanted to. Um, but that his story is dope. Johnny Cupcakes has a dope story. Um, the Crooks and Castle guys have a good story. All of these streetwear brands that popped up back then at the height of like that type of streetwear, like I'm talking Melrose and Fairfax, like all of those brands at that time have such a unique, crazy story. I highly recommend everybody to read that book. I don't know Bobby Hundreds. I've never met him. I don't know anything like I'm not affiliated with him or nothing. But for me to actually talk about his book because I sell t-shirts and he sells t-shirts, we share a lot of the same uh issues and hurdles and stuff like that. Like reading his book, I'm like, damn, they went through that and I went through that also, or they did that and I did that also. It's dope, man. It's such a crazy like when you hear somebody else's story that resonates with your own story. And the hundreds. That's like they just recently closed their Rosewood store, or they're not the Rosewood store, the Melrose store or Fairfax store recently, like I think this year, maybe it was this year or the end of last year, but they just recently did that. And they've been around for so long and they've done some of the biggest collabs and reached really crazy heights with selling graphic t-shirts as a streetwear person or as a just a t-shirt, like somebody that's into t-shirts or selling t-shirts. It's a dope story. It's a dope read. Like I said, get the audiobook. You can drive in the car, listen to that thing, or it's a little inspirational, but it really resonates with you. Like if you're in this business like we all are, you'll get something out of it. Um, But yeah, like I said, man, don't put yourself in a box and you just go for it. Just start doing stuff, and then when the shit hits, that's when you start building on it. You know what I mean? Uh, this said, my last show got snowed out. Damn, blizzard on day two is crazy. Yeah, I'm worried about coming. It's about to rain tonight, tomorrow, Christmas Day, and I think the day after Christmas. And that's like a big deal around here. Like, yo, man, I got like Christmas decorations on my lawn right now. I'm like debating if like the wind's gonna take them. So I'm like, yo, should I take these guys down or what? Let me see. Shane said, yes, you're right. Oh, hell yeah. So you are the one that was making the pillows or the little dolls. Rogue, so big Brando. Oh, tuning in from New Zealand. Hell yeah. Home of AS Color and Super Color. That's right, man. Kia ora. That's like, man, for me, one of the coolest things. I watch a lot of New Zealand uh content, I guess. There's so much cool shit going on over there, man, especially just the people in general. Let me see. Shout out to New Zealand, man. I took a break from the embroidery business for 2 years because it was my last 2 years in the Air Force. I'm retired now. Hell yeah, congrats. Thank you for your service, but really congrats on the retirement. Honorable service for 20 plus years. Hell yeah, I can focus on the business and YouTube channel. That's what I'm talking about. And it's dope that you were building that while you're still in the military. So thank you for your service, but also congrats on the retirement. That's dope, man. Time well served and well deserved, man. I think that's so dope. The hundreds is literally my inspiration. Yeah, man, the hundreds is dope, man. I personally like I'm a graphic t-shirt dude, right? And a lot of the references that the hundreds used to go based off of, and especially like reading like Bobby's blogs, like the old hundreds website, and just references that he was doing, DeLoreans and just pop culture in general. It was so dope to me to see the connection between the brand and the actual people. And that was always something big to me. That's why, like, when his book came out, I was like, man, it's such a dope read because it's like, I feel like I kind of knew him because I would read the blog so much. But then at the same exact time, it's like there's so much about the business in that book that I had no idea about. I would just hear stuff, but I didn't know, like, hearing it directly from him. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. Really dope read, man. I think it's cool. And run the numbers up for Bobby Hundreds, man. I'm pretty sure he don't need it, but his book is dope and inspirational for people like us. I really, really need selling your brand online. Please. I know everything else, but I get to the computer and I just freeze. I don't know what to do. One, you're looking at the computer, everything's done through your phone. Um, there's apps for everything, and it's the social media part of selling your brand online is crucial. This is the way I've always explained it to people is think of your online store as your store in the mall, right? Your store in the mall is your online, your .com, that's what it is. How do you get people into your store if you're in the mall, right? You got to have sick ass window displays. You got to have your new shit on the windows. When people are walking by, they got to be able to see it. So your social media is that. Your social media is the window to your store. Now, how do you get people into your store? They window shop, right? They're like, yo, that's a cool shirt. That looks dope. I want to see more about this store. Them clicking the link in your bio, like, your Instagram page will have a bio that says alexcroft.com or whatever it is. When somebody clicks the link in your bio, that's them walking into your store. Now you have them in there. Now your prices and your designs and stuff like that have to work together to get that person to purchase and convert that customer into an actual transaction. That's the whole game. But if your social media is dead, then that means the window to your store is dead. So nobody's checking for it. Nobody's looking. Nobody's even bothering to walk into your store because they don't see nothing cool. So it's all about you being able to put up dope stuff in your windows on your social media so people can see what you do and then they click the link in your bio. Easier said than done, right? The way I just explained it right now is just so you get an idea on how powerful your social media is, but you really have to put in the work for this. And I'm not just saying like, yo, take a picture of your shirt, post it up, and do this. Uh, a dope person to watch and does this very well and is killing it on social media now is this guy named Yoki. He has a store down in Newport. I think his store's just called like Yoki's Shop or something like that, Yoki's Closet or something. Very cool dude. But if you remember an old clothing brand called Maui and Sons from a long time ago, this is the creator of that brand. Yoki now sells t-shirts in his store down in Newport called Mucho Aloha. I think it has a little bird and then it just says Mucho Aloha. What he ended up doing was, or what his daughter ended up doing for him, was she started to tell the story of him. So now people are interested in him, the owner, and in return, they're supporting him because they like him. So what he does, or his daughter does, is he's a real, trippy dude, like a Japanese guy, dresses really cool. He always shows his outfits. He's not wearing his clothes that he sells. He's wearing some vintage shit, some cool shit. You gotta look him up, man. If I can't even think of the dude's name, but his store in Newport's called Yoki. I want to say his daughter's name is Georgia. I might be wrong. But they do like outfit videos every day. And that's how he's getting people to go to his store. It's because people are now allowed to see the owner and what he's into and seeing how cool of a dude he is, where now they're like, yo, if he dresses this cool, he has to make cool clothes. They're using social media to promote his store without promoting his store. That's it. It's like a backhanded way of doing things. It's like you would think somebody's going to promote the store, like, yo, come on down to my store, blah, blah, blah. I'm selling these shirts. And we're so numb to that as consumers, right? All of us are. We've all been sold something on social media before and we're numb to it. We're like, yo, we don't want to pay attention to that because those sales pitches don't work on us no more. So now the way that you have to do it is you have to get creative on how you're going to start promoting what you do and how you do things. That creativity has to come from your own brain. It's like, how are you going to be able to tell your business's story on social media to get people interested in what you're doing without selling them nothing? That's the hard part, right? Sounds crazy, but what it really is you have the opportunity to give your customers and your potential customers an inside look on how the business is ran. You give them a little bit about yourself. You give them a little bit about the reason you designed something this way. You give them a little bit of how you make the stuff. All of that stuff is content and it could be captured and it's interesting to the customer. So if you put up videos doing stuff like that, is how you're going to get people to be like, yo, what the hell? What does this person do? I want to see what they sell or whatever it is. That's how that shit works out. A lot of people can't grasp that because they're like, my story is not interesting. If you're starting a business, that story is already interesting. There's not a lot of people that start businesses. Talk about your, the ups and the downs, and you just share that story with the people. People will come to support you and buy. But it's also making people aware that you even exist. That's all that matters. Brand awareness is everything in this business, and social media is the current driver for that. You want to make sure that you could get that shit out, get your story out, get your store out without having to sell anybody on anything. You know what I mean? Are bucket hats still hat? I don't know, man. I don't know the current trend. I wear bucket hats when I'm out golfing, if I'm at the beach, if I'm on vacation, if I'm at Disneyland. I wear bucket hats for style. I make my own bucket hats. I wear undefeated ones. I buy them. I don't know if it's a popular thing still. I don't know what the kids are wearing nowadays, but I fuck with them. Let me see. New Zealand go blacks. Hell yeah. Caps will sell better. Yeah, I think caps do sell better. But bucket hats, they still work. Women and men wear them. That's the cool shit, you know what I mean? How important is a logo? I've been in this for 4 years and don't have an official logo, just a brand name. Logos aren't important right now, man. Don't even worry about that shit. Nobody's checking for your logo. So just start building up Everything outside of the brand name and the logo, just start putting stuff out. You need to be able to make stuff that relates to people. So then that way people could be like, yo, this guy makes fucking cool shit. The logo, the brand name, stuff like that will catch on later. But right now, it's not important. To me, it's not. Like I'm selling a bunch of t-shirts at my store. My little big Brando logos on there. I would say 90% of the customers that shop in my retail store don't even know who Big Brando is, don't give a shit about no Big Brando. They're customers from my community where my store is located. It's just random people coming in to buy shirts from me. They're not coming in because they see me on YouTube or social media. They're coming in because I sell things that they relate to. Like if you come to my retail store is mainly filled with things regarding LA, the South Bay, West Side, LA hat, stuff like that. It's geared, geographically geared to the community where the store lives. Nobody going in there outside of like few YouTube followers that'll stop in just to see what my store looks like, pop in. But when we open, it's people from the community that shop there. They're not coming in because of the store name. The store's name is Kainoa Creations. That means nothing to nobody. That's my son's name. Kainoa is my son's name. I created the business for my son, so it's called Kainoa Creations. That's the name of the store. Everything that I sell in there is branded with my Big Brando logo. Nobody going in there is checking for Big Brando gear. They don't even know who I am. They don't even care. Sometimes I'm not even at the store. The guys working the stores are the ones, handling all the customers. But they're going in for what's on the outside of the shirt. They're going in because they said, yo, I seen this dude wearing this South Bay hoodie. He told me I got it, you could get it from here. That's what they're coming in for. They're not coming in because it's made by Big Brando. They're not coming in for the little logo on the neck tag. They don't give a shit about none of that. All they care about is the shit on the outside. So don't even worry about logos, brand names, anything like that. Just worry about making cool shit that people want. You want to start creating the buzz around what you can create and what you can make. If AK-47 t-shirts is what you're making, that's what you have to do. You got to be able to make dope shit for people that are going to relate to the AK-47 t-shirts. If it was Statue of Liberty t-shirts or whatever you were making, you have to be able to feed the customers exactly what they want. They're like, don't even worry about people like looking for your logo or knowing what your brand name is. You just want to make sure you're making dope shit that's going to resonate with somebody. As long as they relate to it, man, they're going to buy into it. That's just how it works. That's how I work. Like when I'm out shopping, if I see something black and yellow, it catches my attention. I'm a Steelers fan. So something that's black and yellow, obviously I'm just going to start looking at already. It's just naturally in people to gravitate to things that they relate to. I'm pretty sure when you're walking around the mall, you're probably looking at shit and maybe you have a pair of sneakers that you're looking for a jacket to match. And in your head, you're like, all right, I need to get a jacket that's going to match these shoes right here. So you're looking for a jacket that relates to you because you own these pair of sneakers. That's how people purchase stuff. So if you can think about that, now you just make shit that people relate to and get the ball rolling. That makes sense. Yeah, you said it, man. It's super situational. I think so. But bucket hats, to me, like I said, man, I like wearing them. Girls wear them, guys wear them. I'm wearing them on the golf course. I'm wearing them wherever, man. Especially on the days I don't shave my head, I'm always wearing a hat. Fat Heck, what's going down, man? You getting ready for this storm out here? I love how when people explain things to me, it reminds me how 4 years in the game is really not shit. It's not even that. It's those 4 years kind of prepped you for this. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Like I've been in this game for a long ass time, and I still don't feel like I've scratched the surface on what my potential is in this business. I've made a decent amount of money in this business, but I don't feel like I've actually seen my full potential within this business yet. And the work in progress of trying to get there is cool. And everybody has that same like it's all about the journey and blah blah blah. That corny shit, it kind of is, but at the same exact time, I just feel like the shit that I was doing, let's say 5 years ago, I learned from that, and I'm adding to all of those lessons as I go along, always going through. You know what I mean? How do you feel about paid ads? Really thinking about leaning towards that because I buy a lot of shit I see. It's a certain science to it, and you also need a certain amount of money to that. A perfect person to watch for that stuff is the homie Rich Kuhn. I think that's named Kuhn, Khun, the dude from Hustle Ninjas. He knows a lot about paid ads, and he teaches courses, and I think he has all kind of like master classes and shit on how to do that stuff. I like when he shows his students testimonies, or not his students, but the people that learn from him. And they're like, "Yo, man, I made X amount of money in this many days or something like that." Like, proof is in the pudding with that dude because he did it. He's practicing what he preaches, and I don't know if he cracked the code on it. He just knows how to work it. I don't know anything about paid ads. That's why all of my marketing is done guerrilla style, 100% for free, and I do everything in my power not to have to pay for ads, if that makes any sense. One, I'm a cheapskate. Two, I don't know how it works. So I stay away from it. Not that it doesn't work, I just don't know how to work it. You know what I mean? So for me, doing it the free way by engaging with customers and stuff like that, making relatable stuff, these things are all to help me make the sell. That's basically what ads are doing, is they're just helping you make the sell. But there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to do it, learn from somebody that's actually doing it, I would suggest. So that way you're not just throwing money away. But you do have to put up a decent amount of money to get it going, to actually see some conversions, right? I don't know how it works though. Merry Christmas. Appreciate that. Heck, Merry Christmas to everybody, man. Holidays, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. This is a good time of year, man. This time of year is, everybody always reflects on this time of year and stuff like that. But I think this time of year is always like, even as a kid, right? As a kid, you look forward to this time of year because of presents and shit like that. And as you get older, you look forward to this time of year, like hang out with family and relax a little bit and kind of reflect on the year. So I enjoy it, man. Commerce Raise, what's happening? Shout out to the city of Commerce. But I appreciate you for watching the videos, man. I really do. Like, that's the only reason I make them, is for people like yourself and anybody else in this chat that's in this business to make some money, better their situation. I make these videos so people could put themselves in a better position, man. Let me see. I'm gonna try to scroll up here and read some of these other comments. I'm mad that I couldn't go live on TikTok today though. Next week, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to live stream next week. I might be out of town, so we'll see. Um, yeah, I didn't have nothing else, man. Oh, I will say this though. I was trying to offer some different color shirts at the store, right? And um, I mainly sell black. You guys already know that. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys sell black t-shirts too, but majority of my stuff is black shirts with colored printing on it, usually white printing. That always does good for me. And I was talking to a homie today who owns business, and we're talking about t-shirt colors and stuff like that. And he was telling me that he heard somebody, I forgot the dude's name. The dude that he's on Shark Tank. He's the one that created Fubu. I can't remember his name. The black dude that on Shark Tank. Can't think of his name right now. I want to say Dwayne, but I might be wrong. I don't know. What if you know his name? Throw it in the chat. But he was saying that dude was saying 60% of the industry sells black T-shirts, and when he said that, I was like, damn, like I'm on to something, because that's what I do is I sell black T-shirts, and I've always felt like I usually buy black T-shirts. Majority of my customers love black T-shirts, so trying to release different colors, and anytime that I've tried dropping other colors, it never really hits like the black shirts do. And I always just think like, man, we need a little bit of color. And Damon is his name. I don't think it's Dame Dash. Dame Dash is from Rockefeller, but but his name's Damon. And that when he said 60% of the industry is black t-shirts, I'm like, man, I've been doing something right. Is like anytime I drop black t-shirts, they sell extremely well. So it made me think like, man, I don't need to drop no colored t-shirts. But when I did drop colored crew neck sweaters this past season, they killed. This we did this one like this tan color with green. This shit went crazy. This is also a smart blank crew neck. I like I say this in a lot of the videos, but I like these crew necks because it has this dumb little half moon cutout in the back so you can press your neck label in. So you're not pressing it on the fuzz. Um, let me see if this one has it on here. Oh no, I didn't put a neck label on that one. But I dropped this tan color, right? Or sand or whatever the color is called. Sold out like crazy. I did the green one, sold out like crazy. Um so launching what I've noticed is launching hoodies and crew necks like outerwear in different colors sells really good. I mean, I still do black hoodies too, but the colored stuff does very well. But when it comes to t-shirts, I'm just gonna stick to black because the shit works, man. It works flawlessly. And hearing somebody that's been in the game for a long time and kind of knows the industry and hearing them say 60% of the industry is black t-shirts, I'm like, man, I've been doing something right my whole time in this business, man. So it's like anytime I think of doing something else and before I take the leap into doing it, there's a sign or something that says, yo, don't do that. You know what I mean? And the sign was my homie saying that Damon, let me see, I'm gonna go through right here. Damon John said the industry is 60% black t-shirts. I still need to be a part of that 60%. So I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I mean? B, you are doing great with your marketing. You are doing it for free. I saw you popping up on my YouTube feed today, pressing T's, working in your shop. Hell yeah. The short form content, I'll tell you this, I love making that stuff, man. It's so easy. It's way easier to do than like regular YouTube videos. YouTube videos are a little bit longer. It's just me talking to the camera. But then when I do those short form ones where it's like me pressing shirts or folding shirts or packing up orders, those ones are so easy to do because they're like 40 seconds to like a minute long, and I can knock out a bunch of those. So I enjoy doing the short form stuff. So thank you for saying that. Oh yeah, everybody's saying Damon John. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I just started adding color myself. Yeah. Yeah, for me, black t-shirts is the move, and then colored outerwear, the hoodies, crew necks, jackets. I'll probably add, splash a little bit of color here and there, but for the most part, I wear black t-shirts and white t-shirts mainly. Um, but then, my hoodies and stuff, I'll switch that stuff up all the time. So it is what it is, man. And I'm not fashion forward. I'm not a trendsetter. I'm nothing like that. Like I do some regular shit. You know what I mean? Black shirt, Levi's, some cool sneakers. That's usually what I do. You don't promote Kainoa Creations separately. Kainoa Creations gets promoted through word of mouth mainly. Um, if you ever looked at the Kainoa Creations Instagram page, oh no, I don't want to take away from that because when we open the store, in order to find out when the store is open, you have to follow the page because that's when we post like, yo, we're gonna be open this weekend, or we're not open every day, we're not open every weekend. Um, so you have to, like, if you came to the store, you'll see a big sign that says follow us for store hours and stuff. But the way Kainoa Creations gets its foot traffic in the door is one, by word of mouth throughout the community, the South Bay community, and then two, it's through people sharing posts on when the store is going to be open. So you have people that'll repost and say, yo, this is where I got my hoodie from, and they're sending it to other people. Or it'll be like one of my dumbass posts of like me at a popular restaurant in the South Bay wearing like a South Bay hoodie. And then people will share that because of the food posts, and then they'll see the hoodie and then they'll end up following. So it comes from a series of different things. But yeah, I never promote the store on my YouTube channel because the people that watch my YouTube channel, there's only a handful of them that live in the South Bay that could actually visit my store. So the people that watch my YouTube channel, you would think I got 100 something followers on 100 something thousand followers on YouTube. That's where I should be promoting the store. It doesn't work that way because majority of the people that watch me aren't even from the South Bay of LA. So it doesn't make sense for me to promote the store there when it makes more sense to direct market the store to people from the South Bay of LA. I'm talking beach cities from Manhattan Beach down to Redondo Beach and Torrance and Palos Verdes, all the way around from San Pedro to Carson Compton, all the way around to Hawthorne, Gardena, in this surrounding area throughout Los Angeles. But my store is located in Torrance, which is in the South Bay. So I need to direct market to the people that live in the South Bay to visit the store. It's useless if I'm marketing my store to somebody that lives in Texas. No offense to anybody that's in Texas, but if I say that my store is going to be open this Saturday, it's not going to do somebody that lives in Texas any good if they're not coming to LA this Saturday. You know what I mean? So it's always easy for me to just market what I'm doing locally and then have the local people repost it and stuff like that. And speaking of people that repost the store, my social media marketing manager for the store, it's what it is in the chat. He is in charge of a lot of the promotion for the store, from creating the content in the store to reposting to community outreach and stuff like that. But that's how the people find out about the store, and that's how people end up coming to the store is based on that. Like I said, the store is made for the community that it's in. It's not for anybody else, unless you're from the South Bay and you move to Rhode Island and you're born and raised in the South Bay. Then some of my T-shirts might speak to you, and you might want to order something. But um, usually, it's for the locals within that area. You know what I mean? Why is red so hard to sell? Not a lot of people wear it, man. Not even to be gang related. It's just not a lot of people wear it. What does sell is black shirts with white and red print. That sells all the time. That used to be one of my biggest sellers when I was doing stuff. You remember, this is years ago, and this is probably going to date me, but when Jordan was doing the countdown packs, if you don't know what a countdown pack is, it was like all the original Jordans, um, 1 through 23, were coming out in two packs. I mean, two shoes in one pack. So it would be like the Jordan 22 with the Jordan number 1, so that equal 23. So both of those shoes would come in the packs together. Early 2000 shit. When the countdown packs were dropping, I was selling T-shirts with the homies, sneaker related T-shirts, and we used to pull up in a little ice cream truck, and we would sell T-shirts to anybody camping out. We would go down to, man, what was some of the stores that we used to go to? Obviously, Undefeated on La Brea, where Union is, Undefeated where the Stussy store is. We would pull up with the ice cream truck and sell T-shirts to people that were standing in line to buy the countdown pack. And this is years ago when people used to want to match their clothes with their sneakers. Now, not so much. A lot of people don't really match no more, so I don't know if it'll work anymore. But that's where I was like, yo, black shirts with white and red print used to kill, man. And then even like if you're into like Nike SBs, when the skunks came out, like that was like a weird crazy green with purple. We had dropped some green and purple shirts that killed. Black shirts with green and purple print, those killed. What other ones did we do that was like a really dope drop back then? um Man, yeah, the ice cream truck thing was dope too, but I'm trying to think of like the colorways that used to work with us really good. But back then, yeah, it was easy to sell T-shirts back then, man. Especially if you're making cool shit that matched the sneakers people were waiting for. Um, it was, man, it was a good time to sell T-shirts back then. That was early 2000s. Um, yeah, it's weird how, you know. how all that stuff works. Like if you're talking like old school, like pink box and silver box Nike SB time, oh man, anytime those shoes drop, we would be by all the skate shops selling t-shirts, man, and they used to kill, man. Man, now that I'm thinking about it, I used to. This is when we're getting into DTG. The idea was get the DTG printer, be able to print like spot color. I mean, Pantone matched colors to any sneaker at that point, and it was like, man, whatever sneaker was coming out, we'd be on it. We'd be on Nike Talk. We'd be on Sneaker News, whatever uh, blogs and forums were talking about new sneakers coming out. We'd be like, yo, these are coming out. Let's create designs for this shoe, or this shoe right here is going to be hyped up. Let's create designs for this. And then we would like knock shit out. And we were killing shit back then, man. But it was mainly because people used to match their clothes back then. Like Bordeaux sevens is a crazy colorway where it's like gray, black. There's like a little bit of yellow, a little bit of blue in the tongue. Um, yeah, we would make shit that matched that stuff. It was crazy, man. Sorry for reminiscing like that, but selling t-shirts, selling t-shirts used to be easier when people used to match their clothes. Let me see. Mary T-shirt miss. That's right. Number one black, number one white, number three gray, number four blues. Yeah, for me, black and white's it. Heather gray, if that. But yeah, what do you think about doing giveaways like stash and grabs? They work if you have a good following. That's the only time it works. When I was running this brand called Gardena Originals, is years ago. I think my wife sent me a thing. I want to say like 11, 12 years ago. I started this brand called Gardena Originals for the city of Gardena, and I would sell in random parking lots around the city. And then once I had a good enough following, I'm not even talking like thousands. I'm talking like 200 people following me from the city of Gardena was a big deal to me. I would do these things kind of like the stash and grabs, but they were just like scavenger hunts. And I would like Saturday morning, I would pull up, and throughout the week I'd promote it. Yo, this Saturday I'm gonna do around the city of Gardena. If you know where these landmarks are, there's gonna be shirts and hats, and I would use that to like drop new hats or drop new t-shirt designs. So then that way throughout the week I could promote the new one. And for the people that didn't find the shirt or the hat in the scavenger hunt, then they'd eventually just go online and buy the shit, right? And to me, that was like such an easy way of promoting the stuff and then also promoting the brand, getting people involved. And you could go to Gardena Originals, like go on that Instagram. It's called Gardena Originals, and scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see my dumbass face promoting the shirts that I'm selling. And I'm no longer affiliated with the brand. I ended up selling the brand a long time ago, but you could see how I did all the marketing for that. And when I would do those scavenger hunts, like the stash and grabs, what I was doing was getting the community out, and it turned into like a feeding frenzy where like people were anticipating, like, yo, he's gonna do it. And I'd probably give out like, I don't know, 6 to 10 products, right? I'd wrap them up, stash them around the city, all over. I'd go to the furthest north end of the city, furthest south end of the city, everywhere in between. So everybody had a chance. And it was like to the point where people were like jumping out carloads deep, going through the bushes and stuff like that. If I were to do that now with no following, it wouldn't work. I'd be like, yo, get this free t-shirt right here. I'm gonna leave it in the bushes. This shit'll stay in the bushes for months because nobody knows who I am. In order for those giveaways and stash and grabs and stuff like that to work, you have to have a good following. If your following isn't, like, if they're not already buying from you, it's going to be hard for them to come out and get some stuff from you. You know what I mean? So it works if you have a following. If you don't have a following, it's a hard sell. Um, Let me see. I sold a crazy pirate design on a crimson red shirt, and it went nuts. Like 60,000 shirts. I think that's what that says. Also was during the Pirates of the Caribbean phase. Hell yeah. To me, I'm guessing shit. Maybe it just takes the right design on the right color T-shirt for that shit to pop. Like I don't put it past it, man. Um, sometimes things like that work out. Like I'll tell you this hoodie right here that you guys see me wear all the time, this brown one, this hoodie sells out every single time that I drop it. This weird color, this off-white print always does well. When I released that same hoodie in black with white, it sat for a while. And I was like, man, why did it sit for a while? It's because the color, people were attracted to the color, not so much the design. They liked the design, but they were more attracted to the color. So I did like a brown one first, it sold out. Then I dropped the black one and the black one sat. Then I re-dropped the brown one and the brown one sold. And then people that couldn't find the brown one after I restocked it the second time, they bought the black one by like consolation prize, like, no brown one, I guess I'll just get the black one. And then I never restocked the black one. I just restocked the brown one and I dropped the gray one uh recently this year, and the gray one sold out. So now it's like gray and brown, and then the green crew necks with the same design with white print sold like crazy. And it just takes the right garment color, I guess, for it to speak to big audience. But if pirate shirts do good on red shirts, fucking go for it. You know what I mean? Commerce Race says sound good. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, especially if your brand is based in the city of Commerce, and you have a decent following in the city, and then you just fucking pop around to like all the popular spots in the city of Commerce, right? Whether it's like, say it's like a popular club or a bar that's out there that a lot of people know of, popular taco spot, popular restaurant, burger spot, skate park, like shit that like landmarks in the city that people know about. Oh man, that shit is crazy because first thing people do, like, yo, I know that spot. And then they're gonna go straight there. You know what I mean? It's like that's what I used it for, was in the city of Gardena. I just used all the popular spots. Like in the city of Gardena, we have a middle school there called Perry Middle School. What they're known for is this like fucking bridge that goes over a street. So I hopped the fence and I left a package on, it's called the overpass. I left it on the overpass of Perry. And right when I took a picture of it, everybody knew. And it was like people jumping the fences to try to get up to the overpass to get the package. And same thing, there's this popular restaurant here in Gardena called Pit Burger. And it's a teriyaki spot. Everybody knows this little burger joint's right on the corner of 166 in Normandy. But what I ended up doing was they used to have everybody that had either had clothing brands, that were graffiti artists, that just had stickers in general. Like the bottom of the ordering counter was full of stickers. Like people were putting stickers on top of stickers. They since cleaned it, but for years it was like that. So I just took a picture of that wall of stickers. Everybody knew right away. And then next thing you know, cars are pulling into the Pit Burger parking lot, swarming the shit, trying to look for the package. So if you do it that way, where you're utilizing the city, um, once again, if you're from that area, obviously you know the popular spots and what people react to. You do it that way, man, you'll kill. And then you're gonna create this dope little community around the city because you're doing something for the city. One, you're getting people to come outside. Two, you're getting people involved with what you're doing. And then after that, you get invited to the parades, you get invited to the car shows, you get invited to the picnics, you get invited to everything. When I was doing Gardena Originals, that's how it worked. It was like, yo, you're the dude that, was bringing the community together. And then people just started to like, not even knowing who I was or anything like that. They would just reach out to the page and be like, yo, you're invited to come out here if you want to sell some shirts out here, or you're like, we're doing this car wash over here if you want to pull up. Or man, I was selling inside of bars, restaurants. I was selling t-shirts everywhere because it was just people were, they just wanted to be cool with you, man. There's no other way to explain it, man. Like people, they they liked it. They thought it was cool, man. And it generated sales, and then it also really solidified like my processes on how I do stuff. I really fine tuned my marketing with Gardena Originals. I really like locked in with that brand to understand the customer first, and then I only fed the customer things that they wanted, and that's all it was just fucking. I was feeding them so much stuff that they were just genuinely interested in, and yeah, it worked, man. It was dope. How do you make a community want to do everything alone? I do everything alone too. You know what I mean? The way you do it is you have to add value first. So when we're talking about doing giveaways, you're adding value. You're giving something away for free, right? But you're doing it with the intention of promoting the brand, promoting the business, and doing something. But in order to get to that point where somebody wants something from for free from you, you have to start to build up the hype around what you're doing. You know what I mean? And for me, it was selling stuff out of parking lots. I made a dope T-shirt that a lot of people liked. The only way to get it, I wasn't selling nothing online. The only way to get it was to buy it from me in one of these parking lot pop-ups. So I used to sell T-shirts out of my trunk. I had a Honda Pilot. I popped the trunk up. I have totes in the back. You guys see those like flip down totes that I have filled with shirts, all by size. One T-shirt, one color. That's all it was. I had one design, and that was it. And I went from size small to 3X. Then I'll pull up in the parking lots. And I took this idea from the food trucks at the time, like, the gourmet food trucks. They would post on Twitter, like, yo, we're going to be right here. Come get these tacos or get these shrimp bowls or whatever they're selling. I did the same thing. I'm like, yo, I'm going to be in this parking lot from this time to this time selling this t shirt. Boom. I'll be here until I sell out, or I'll just be here for 2 hours, whatever time I had. At the time, my son was like barely born. So I was doing it just whenever I had time. And yeah, I'd pull up in parking lot. So the only way you could get it was to follow Gardena Originals, but then you had to be local enough to come and buy the shit at a parking lot. And I was selling for $15, and yeah, I built the community around just me showing up, and the community spoke, and they showed up to anytime I was. It got to the point where I was inviting all my homies that had brands at the time. One of my homies was selling vape juice. This is back when like vape juice, when you would have to squeeze it into your vapes. He had his own vape juice line. He was pulling up selling vape juice out the parking lot. The other homie had a sock brand. He would do sublimation on socks. He would pull up and sell socks. All the homies that I knew that had clothing lines, they would pull up. Because if it was working for me, obviously it would have worked for them too. And it's never a competition thing. It's like if I got it, they got it. So I was just like, yo, I'm gonna be doing a pop-up here, pull up. This is how many people come out when I bring the shirts. And then now it turned into like a little night market in the back of this old Burger King parking lot. That's all I was doing, man. Hood Hippies, Brando, thanks for all the work and game this year. Happy holidays. Have a blessed new year. I appreciate that. Happy holidays. Happy New Year to you too, man. Uh Good shit, Brando. You're the reason I started doing merch. That started a brand when I was just a sneaker reseller. Hell yeah. How's the sneaker reselling business now, man? Is it up and down? Is there anything that's still like a high ticket item? Um, Man, I used to, I don't knock resellers because I used to buy shoes, wear them, and then when I didn't wear them no more, I would sell them too. And this is back when Riff was still in the original location. I would sell shoes there. I would sell shoes at Footage out in Fullerton. Flight Club, not so much, but I was buying shoes and selling them too. So I don't knock resellers because I get it. But is there any high ticket items right now that like people still like spend a lot of money on? I just hate that young kids like Air Maxes. Like, man, I was trying to get like my favorite shoes that Neon 95, right? They released them, they sold out quick. And I'm like, man, kids don't even wear this fucking shoe. So why are people buying them? But yeah, I'm just mad at that. Air Max ones, Air Max 95s, it's my shit. And now all of a sudden kids like wearing them. They're buying them or they're trying to resell them and stuff like that. I'm like, man, you guys suck. I'm buying them to wear. I restore classics for people and I restore old shoes and sell shoes. Oh, dope. Hell yeah. So you're like customizer doing shit like that, or not customizer, but like resoling shoes and shit like that. That's dope. Um, that's kind of a cool business, like making soles icy again and shit like that. I think that's dope. Um, yeah, I ain't got nothing else, man. If anybody else got anything, man, let me know. We did like an hour and a half already. Customs to all that. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I used to be sponsored by Angelus Paint. I don't know if that means anything to you. Like, I'm pretty sure there's other paint companies out there, but this how long ago I've been doing this shit was when Angelus was just a purse paint. Like when people were buying Angelus to repair leather purses. Um, I was painting sneakers. I was painting like kid sneakers, like paint stuff for my kids. Like say if like Royal Ones didn't come out in like a toddler size at the time, I would buy them and then uh I would paint. I would buy the shoe that had the similar sole, and then I paint the whole shoe to look like Bread Ones, Royal Ones, stuff that they weren't releasing in toddler sizes, so my kid could like bust them out in. I don't even know, but uh, that was like a yeah, I was doing that for like a long time, and then I ended up yeah, shit, I just ended up stopping, man. I think I haven't painted a pair of shoes in a long ass time. Stay safe. See you in a few weeks. Yeah, man. See you in a few weeks, G6 Customs. Thank you for all your knowledge and game you've been giving us. You're a great man, fat heck. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Have the HPN True Spec 325 degrees. Pressure level is 8 is good for that combo. I've never pressed at 8. I usually keep mine around like P6, P7 is pretty heavy for myself. It depends on what transfers you're using. Like whatever transfer company you buy them from, they should come with some instructions. Oh wait, I didn't even read your top comment. It says thanks for the info you're using. I just got an AS Color test order and also ordered Super Color wearable. Oh, okay. I wanted to ask you 325. I do 320, 15 seconds, and my pressure level is usually at 6 or 7, depending on the t-shirt, like how thick the t-shirt is. But yeah, 6 or 7 works good for me. Hot peel. Angelus is all I use. Hell yeah. Dope to know that Angelus is still around, man. Yeah, when I was using them, like I said, people were mainly buying the paints to like touch up purses and shit. And what I do know about customized shoes and painted shoes, it's all about the prep. Like you got to really like prep the surface in order for the paint to adhere correctly. Thanks for everything. Hope you and your family have a beautiful Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Appreciate that, man. Hoodies the same? Yeah, hoodies the same. I usually keep the hoodies around P6, P7 also. I don't use any pressing pillows with that press. I just lay that sucker on top, boom, knock them down. But yeah, P6, P7 is pretty much heavy pressure for myself. I feel that's heavy enough. 320 degrees, 15 seconds. That's been my magic number with Super Color Wearable. Mahalo for the info, Kona. I appreciate that. Um, shit, I appreciate everybody for jumping on, man. Everybody have a good Christmas, happy holiday, whatever you celebrate. Enjoy that time with your family, man. I appreciate you guys for real jumping on 2 days before Christmas. Dope. Catch you guys on the next one. If you guys wanted to rewatch this thing, man, it'll be on here live. And if I'm not traveling next week, I'll be on here. But if I am traveling and I don't post, I mean, if I don't go live next Tuesday, it's because I'm out of town. So I appreciate y'all, man. Peace.